Hello students, I hope you enjoyed your Diwali vacation and you are doing well. After Diwali vacation, this one is our first lecture of science. In the first semester before Diwali, we had completed chapter 1 to chapter 9. The remaining chapters of our class 7 subject science, that is chapter number 10 to chapter number 18, we are going to study in this semester too. So here let me start with the chapter number 10. The chapter name is Respiration in Organisms. So here let me start. Before that, let me see what is the respiration. So one day, Bhujaha was eagerly waiting to meet his grandparents, who were coming to the town after a year. Bhujaha's grandparents were coming to the town after a year, and Bhujaha was very excited to meet them. He was in a real hurry as he wanted to receive them at the bus stop, and he wanted to receive his grandparents at the bus stop, so he was in the hurry. He ran fast and reached the bus stop in the few minutes, and he was breathing rapidly. As he ran fast to the bus stop, he was breathing rapidly, so his grandmother asked him that why he was breathing so fast. So Bujaha told her that he came running all the way. So now Bujaha got with some question that he wondered that why running makes the person breathe faster. He got with one question that why running make the persons breathe faster. The answers to the questions, Bujo's questions, lie in understanding why we breathe. So before answering this Bujo's question, first we need to know why we breathe. So breathing is a part of respiration. So now let we see what is the respiration. So here first topic is given to you that why do we respire. So let me see that why we are respire and what is the respiration. So in the chapter 2 you had already learned that all organisms are made of small microscopic units which is known as the cells. All the organisms are made up of many small microscopic, that means the structure which you can see with the help of only microscopes. So the all the organisms are made up of this kind of small units which is known as the cells, and a cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of an organism. And we had also seen that as in the building, the brick is the structural unit or basic fundamental unit is the brick. It's the same as that in the organisms or in a human body, the cell is basic structural and functional unit. So each cell of an organism performs certain functions such as nutrition, transport, excretion and reproduction, and different kinds of cells in our body performs different functions, and some of the functions are given to you here, that is like nutrition, then after transportation of food, water, blood, then after excretion and reproduction. So to perform this function, the cells also need energy. To perform this all kind of functions, they need some energy, and even we are eating, sleeping, reading, we also require energy to perform this kind of different functions like eating, sleeping, reading, we also require energy. But where does this energy come from? Now the question is that we need this energy, so from where this energy come? So can you say why your parents insist that you should eat regularly? You had heard that your parents are insisting or forcing you to eat the food regularly. So why they are doing this? So the food has stored energy which is released during respiration. The food which we are eating has some energy which is stored in that food. So this energy is released during this respiration process. So that's why we do respire. So therefore all living organisms respire to get energy from the food. To get energy from the food which we are eating, the respiration process is necessary. So all the living organisms respire to get energy from the food. And during breathing, we breathe in air, and you also know that air contains oxygen. The air which we are breathing that air contains oxygen, and when we breathe out air, that is rich in carbon dioxide. The breathe out air is rich in carbon dioxide, and the air we breathe in is transported to all the parts of the body and ultimately to the cells. The air which we are taking, which is rich in oxygen, is transported to all the different body parts and also to the cells. And in the cells, the oxygen in the air helps in the breakdown of the food. This oxygen in the air helps in the breakdown of the food, and the process of this breakdown of food in the cells with the release of energy is called cellular respiration. The process in which the energy is released or the breakdown of the food occurs with the help of oxygen which we are getting from the breathing air. So this occur in the cell. So that's why it is known as the cellular respiration. And the cellular respiration take place in the cells of all organisms. This occur in the cells of the organism, so that's why it is known as the cellular respiration. And in this process the breakdown of food occurs in the cell, and with that energy is also released, which energy we are utilized in the different to perform the different kinds of functions that we had seen, like reading, sleeping, eating, etc. In the cell, the food, or you can also say the glucose, is broken down into carbon dioxide and water using the oxygen. Using oxygen, this food, or you can say glucose, is break down into the carbon dioxide and water. Or as the product, we can say that we are getting carbon dioxide and water. And when this breakdown of glucose occur with the help of or with the use of oxygen, it is known as the aerobic respiration. There are two types of respiration, that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So when we are using oxygen to break down this food or glucose to release the energy, so this respiration is known as the aerobic respiration. And food can also be broken down without using oxygen. So this respiration is known as the anaerobic respiration. There are two types we had seen that of respiration, that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, the oxygen is used, and in anaerobic respiration, the oxygen is not used, or you can say without the use of oxygen, the food or glucose is break down into the energy, carbon dioxide and water, and every time the energy is released. Here the equation for that or this respiration process is given to you. The first one here, it is given to you that glucose is break down in the presence of oxygen, and as a result it is given you are given with carbon dioxide, water and energy. So this is known as the aerobic respiration, where the presence of oxygen is there and glucose is break down into the carbon dioxide, water and energy. And carbon dioxide at the end we breathe out from our body. So this is the process of aerobic respiration, or the equation for the aerobic respiration. And you should know that there are some organisms such as yeast that can survive in the absence of air. Some organisms are there who can survive in the absence of air, or we can say without the use of oxygen. So they are known as the anaerobes, and they get energy through the anaerobic respiration. These anaerobes are getting the energy from the anaerobic respirations. And in the absence of oxygen, the glucose breaks down into the carbon dioxide and alcohol. And here the equation for the anaerobic respiration is given to you. And in this anaerobic respiration, that these organisms are getting carbon dioxide and alcohol, and with that energy is also released. Here the equation is also given to you that glucose break down in the absence of oxygen, and as a product it will give the alcohol, carbon dioxide and energy. So this is an aerobic respiration. Two different types of respiration, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Here some fact about yeast is given to you, that yeast are single cell organism. These organisms are single cell, you can say made up of single cell. They respire anaerobically and during this process yield alcohol. They respire or the energy is released with the anaerobic respiration, and in this process they yield or you can say they give alcohol, and they are therefore used to make wine and beer, which are the kinds of alcohol. So in the respiration process they are giving alcohol as a result, so they are used to make the wine and beer. Our muscle cells can also respire anaerobically. It's not that all the time our body cells respire aerobically. Our muscle cells can also respire with this respiration, that is anaerobic respiration, but only for a short time. When there is a temporary deficiency of oxygen, where there is the temporarily there is the oxygen is not present, at that time our muscle cells can also respire anaerobically. During the heavy exercise, then after fast running, cycling, walking for many hours, or heavy weight lifting, during such kind of exercise the demand of energy is high. During the exercise we require more energy, but the supply of oxygen to produce this energy is limited, as we can breathe in limited amount of oxygen, so the supply of oxygen is limited. On the other side, the demand of this energy is higher during this exercise. Then at that time the anaerobic respiration take place in the muscle cells to fulfill the demand of this energy. So here for that, here the equation is given to you, the anaerobic respiration which occurs in the muscle cells of the human body, that is glucose in the muscles, it breaks down in the absence of oxygen and it will give you lactic acid and energy. In this respiration, as the product we are getting lactic acid and energy. Here it is shown to you in the figure that this man is doing exercise, some exercise like running, walking for long hours, heavy weight lifting. During such kind of exercise our muscle cells perform anaerobic respiration when there is the energy demand is higher and the supply of oxygen is limited. So have you ever wondered why you got muscle cramps after heavy exercise? If you had noticed that, then sometimes after heavy exercise we get the muscle cramps. That means muscle pains. After that pain we are not able to move our legs or hands, so that is known as the muscle cramps. So after heavy exercises we are usually getting with this muscle cramps. So the cramps, it is because here the reason is given to you that these cramps occur when the muscle cells respire anaerobically. When the anaerobic respiration take place in our muscle cells, at that time we are get with muscle cramps. The partial breakdown of glucose produce lactic acid. As in the previous equation we had seen that in this kind of anaerobic respiration the lactic acid is produced, and the partial breakdown of this glucose, that means not completely but in the some amount the glucose is break down, and as the product we are getting with lactic acid. So this accumulation of this lactic acid, or you can say the storage of this lactic acid, causes muscle cramps or muscle pain, and we get relief from these cramps after a hot water bath or a massage. And we can get a relief from these cramps or pain with the help of hot water bath or massage. So how now the question is that why hot water bath or massage can give us relief from these muscle cramps? So here the reason is also given to you, that can you guess why is it so? So hot water bath or massage improves the circulation of blood. Because of this hot water bath and massage, the circulation of blood is improves in our muscles. So as a result, the supply of oxygen to the muscle cells increase. And because of this good circulation, blood circulation, the muscle cells supply of oxygen get increase in the muscle cells, and the increase in this supply of oxygen results in the complete breakdown of the lactic acid into the carbon dioxide and water. And because of this supply of oxygen, the lactic acid is completely break down into the carbon dioxide and water with the help of oxygen. So this is how we can get relief from the muscle cramps with the help of hot water bath and massage. So this is respiration and different types of respiration. So here we had seen that in respiration we require oxygen. So for that we require to breathe in the air which is rich in oxygen and breathe out the air which is rich in carbon dioxide. So here our next topic is breathing. Here one activity is given to you, that is activity number 10.1. You have to take care about this precaution that you do not have to perform this activity alone. You can take the help of your elders. For this you have to close your nostrils and mouth tightly and look at the watch. And you have to notice that what did you feel after some time and how long are you able to keep both of them closed. You have to close your nostril and mouth and you have to notice the time for about how long you are able to keep this both closed. Then after note down this time for which you could able to hold your breath. Here it is given to you in the figure how you can do this, perform this activity. You have to close your nostril and mouth as well, and you have to note down the time. So now you know that you cannot after performing this activity you will be able to know that you cannot survive for a long without the breathing. We are not able to survive without the breathing for a long time. So breathing means, now what is the meaning of breathing? So breathing means taking in air which is rich in oxygen and giving out air rich in carbon dioxide with the help of respiratory organs. And during this process the respiratory organs help us to breathe in air and to breathe out the air which is rich in carbon dioxide. So the taking in air which is rich in oxygen into our body is known as the inhalation, and giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide is known as the exhalation. Taking in of the air which is rich in oxygen is known as the inhalation, and taking out of the air which is rich in carbon dioxide is known as the exhalation. And it is the continuous process which goes on all the time and throughout the life of an organism. Until we are alive, this process is occurring in our body. So this is the continuous process which is happening all the time throughout the life of any organism. So the number of time, so now what is the breathing rate is given to you, that the number of times a person breathes in a minute is termed as the breathing rate. How many times we breathe in the air, that is in a minute, is known as the breathing rate. And during the breathing, this inhalation and exhalation take place alternatively. When we inhale and then after the exhalation occurs, after exhalation again inhalation happens. So these two are the alternative process. A breath means one inhalation plus one exhalation. One breath is known as the one inhalation plus exhalation. So by counting these breaths in a minute, we can find the breathing rate of our body. So now, would you like to find out your breathing rate? And do you want to know whether it is constant or it changes according to the requirement of the oxygen by the body? So now let us find out by doing this following activity. So that we can find from this activity, next activity, that is activity number 10.2. We will see this activity in our next video. So till now in this video and in this chapter we had seen why do we need to respire, what is the respiration. In that we had seen that there are two different methods of respiration, that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In that we had seen that In aerobic respiration, we require oxygen, or the aerobic respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen. And in anaerobic respiration, we had seen that some organisms like yeast can survive without the air. So, in such kind of organisms, the anaerobic respiration is used in the absence of oxygen. And in these respirations, the carbon dioxide, water, and energy is released. And in anaerobic respiration, with the energy, alcohol is also used. So such kind of organisms in which the anaerobic respiration occurs, they are used to make the alcohols like beer and wine. And then after, we had also seen that in our body also, in muscle cells, sometimes while performing the heavy exercise, the anaerobic respiration also occurs, and during this the lactic acid is produced, and because of this lactic acid we are getting the muscle cramps. And we had also seen that how we can get relief from these muscle cramps. In that, we had seen that by taking hot water bath and massage, we can get relief from these muscle cramps. So these two different aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration we had seen. And then after, we had seen breathing. In that, we had seen what is breathing, and in that we had seen that inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation, that means we had seen that taking in of air which is rich in oxygen is known as the inhalation, and taking out the air which is rich in carbon dioxide is known as the exhalation. And then after, we had seen that breathing rate. So the number of times we breathe in 1 minute is known as the breathing rate, and this breath contains one inhalation and one exhalation. And we had also seen that inhalation and exhalation are two alternative processes. So these are the things we had seen. In the next video, we will study the remaining part of this chapter. Thank you.